it's Elise Kopp, your realtor here in Las Vegas. Thank you so much for taking the time to join me here on today's video. If you're new, happy to have you here. If you've been here before, welcome back. Either way, really happy to have you here on my channel. Now, for today's video, I wanted to take this time, you guys, to share with you some of the pros and cons to one of our more popular 55 plus communities in the Henderson area. It is a 55 plus community we've talked about before, so if you are interested in learning everything you need to know about this 55 plus community, the amenities, the HOA, the types of homes offered, so on and so forth, I will link that video down in the description box below. Feel free to check it out. And the community we're going to be talking about today is Sun City MacDonald Ranch. What are the pros? What are the cons? Now, really quickly, before we dive into some of the pros and cons to living in Sun City MacDonald Ranch, I do want to take this time to introduce myself. My name is Elise Kopp. I'm a realtor here in the greater Vegas area. Born and raised here. I love Las Vegas, and these 55 plus communities are one of my specialties. We've got nearly 30 different communities, so if you find yourself considering the possibility of potentially making a move, I'd love to connect with you, learn a little bit more about your story, see if we're a good fit, and if the greater Las Vegas area is for you. Also, keep in mind, not just limited to the 55 plus communities, whether you're looking for new construction or resale homes in traditional non-55 plus communities, I've got you covered all over the greater Vegas area and would love to help you out if you find yourself considering that possibility. Also, if you enjoyed today's video, would so appreciate it if you could take this time to like today's video and to subscribe to my channel. It really does help the channel out a lot, and I really appreciate your support. All right, now that we got that out of the way, let's talk a little bit about Sun City MacDonald Ranch. As I shared with you before, I have shared a video previously sharing everything you need to know about this community. So if you'd like to learn the inside scoop to living in Sun City MacDonald Ranch, please feel free to check that video down in the description box below. But for the sake of today's video, I'll give you a really brief overview on the community. Now, Sun City MacDonald Ranch is a 55 plus Webb community located in the heart of Henderson, just outside of Green Valley. You have just over 2,500 homes in Sun City MacDonald Ranch, and you do have a mix of single family detached homes and single level attached townhomes. So both options, definitely something to keep in mind. If you like the idea of being in an established 55 plus community with the Del Webb name and reputation, definitely a community to consider. So now that we got that covered, let's talk a little bit about the pros to living in Sun City MacDonald Ranch. The first pro to living in Sun City MacDonald Ranch is going to be its prime Henderson location. Now, Sun City MacDonald Ranch is situated in the heart of Henderson in MacDonald Ranch. Now, this area is known for its shopping, restaurants, medical, grocery stores. You are also surrounded by several multi-million-dollar custom home developments, so the homes tend to hold their value really well in this area. You've got Askaya, McDonald Highlands, Anthem Country Club. So this area typically is one of our highest performing zip codes in the entire Greater Vegas Valley. Definitely something to keep in mind if you're exploring the community. The other nice thing to having this prime location in Henderson is the easy 215 Beltway access. All my clients know that I joke that the 215 and I are like this, and that's because the 215 Beltway makes a huge loop around the greater Las Vegas Valley, gets you from Henderson to Summerlin to North Las Vegas very quickly. It can get you around town typically in 30 to 45 minutes tops. And it's great, especially if you want to avoid going on the I-15 or the 95, which can be a little bit more congested depending on the time of day. 215 typically gets you everywhere you need to go pretty quickly. Now, the second pro I'm going to share with you to living in Sun City MacDonald Ranch is going to be the fact that this is a very lush community. Now, Sun City MacDonald Ranch was built between 1996 to 2001, so the landscaping in the community has had plenty of time to develop. So you're gonna find lots of trees, lots of vegetation, takes you out of the desert feel that we often feel here in the greater Las Vegas area just because we're a desert. So if you like the idea of being somewhere a little bit more lush, definitely something to keep in mind. The landscaping's just beautiful. The other upside to being in an established community is going to be the fact that the infrastructure and everything around the community is already developed, so there's no guessing game as to what's going to go where in the surrounding areas. So definitely something to keep in mind. The third pro I'm going to share with you is going to be that in Sun City MacDonald Ranch, you have one of the lowest HOA fees for our 55+ communities here in the Valley. You pay a total of $79 a month. That gets you access to their clubhouse, which has a pool, spa, fitness center, tennis courts, every amenity that you'd typically expect in a Webb 55+ community. So if activities and amenities are important to you and you like the idea of keeping that HOA fee nice and low, definitely something to keep in mind. And one of the reasons why the $79 HOA fee is so impressive is because this is a golf course community. So definitely something to keep in mind. The fourth pro I'm going to share with you to living in Sun City MacDonald Ranch is going to be the fact that this community is very walkable, very easy to bike or run in, just because it's not an extremely hilly community. If you were to compare Sun City MacDonald Ranch to, let's say, Sun City Anthem, which is about 10 to 12 minutes south of Sun City MacDonald Ranch, you're going to find Sun City Anthem is much more hilly, which is beautiful, but in Sun City MacDonald Ranch, because the land is more level and you don't have all those hills throughout the community, it is really nice to walk through or take a bike or run around the community. And the fifth and final pro I'm going to share with you to living in Sun City MacDonald Ranch kind of tags on to one of the earlier points we covered, and that is going to be the enrichments you get in the community. Not only do you have a golf course within Sun City MacDonald Ranch, but you also have a restaurant. So if you like the idea of being able to use the restaurant and the golf course and all the other amenities that come with the community, definitely something to keep in mind. Like I mentioned, HOA fee is only $79 a month in this community, so you can't beat the value HOA-wise. So definitely something to consider. Okay, so now we're going to move along to some of the cons to living in Sun City MacDonald Ranch. The first con I'm going to share with you is the fact that this community does not have an indoor pool. They do have an outdoor pool. They have an outdoor spa. But if you are a lap swimmer or you like the idea of having access to an indoor pool, Sun City MacDonald Ranch does not have an indoor pool. Definitely something to keep in mind if you are exploring this community and if indoor swimming is important to you. The second con to living in Sun City MacDonald Ranch is going to be that this is a more intimate community. If you were to compare Sun City MacDonald Ranch to some of our, call them our giant communities, like a Sun City Summerlin or Sun City Anthem, with over 7,000 homes, this community is going to be smaller and more intimate. Doesn't mean you get any less amenities for its size. I mean, amenities really pack a punch in this community. But if you like the idea of having multiple clubhouses, multiple pools and spas and fitness centers, definitely something to keep in mind, especially if you are comparing Sun City MacDonald Ranch to some of our larger communities. The third con to living in Sun City MacDonald Ranch is going to be the fact that, as I shared with you earlier, this is an already established community built between 1996 to 2001. So it is common to find homes in the community that have the classic original finishes that we found in the late 90s and the early 2000s. And you may also find that in the amenities as well, especially if you're comparing MacDonald Ranch to some of our newer build communities. Now, can these homes be upgraded and updated to give off that newer look? Absolutely. And you will actually find some of the sellers or investors in the community have already done that work for you. So it is possible to find a home that has that modern look if that is something you're drawn to. But definitely something to keep in mind when we're talking about this community. And the fourth and final con I'm going to share with you to living in Sun City MacDonald Ranch is going to be the fact that this land is fairly flat in Sun City MacDonald Ranch. Now, if having a city view is really important to you, you want to keep that in mind when exploring this community. Community like Sun City Anthem may be a better fit for you just because of where it sits in the valley, because it is more hilly. But in Sun City MacDonald Ranch, if views are important to you, you're mostly going to find mountain views views and golf course views. They're absolutely beautiful. But for my folks who are drawn to the idea of having the city lights as a view for their home, definitely something you will want to keep in mind. You are going to be situated on more flat land in Sun City MacDonald Ranch. So that covers just a few of the pros and cons to living in Sun City MacDonald Ranch. I hope this gave you something to think about or gave you ideas as to things you may have not thought about up until this point when considering this community. Just keep in mind, we are just scratching the surface today. There are many other factors you may want to keep in mind if you are exploring Sun City MacDonald Ranch, and that's where I come in, learn what's most important to you in a community and a home so that we can find the community that makes the most sense for you and for your lifestyle. I just want to thank you again for taking the time to watch today's video. Once again, if you did find it helpful or took something away from today's video, would so appreciate it if you could leave a thumbs up on today's video and subscribe to my channel. And with all that being said, I hope you have a great day and I will see you in the next video. Bye.